Yo, Avery, come on in. I was just going over your self-evaluation. Sit down.
Thanks.
So, it's been a year already, huh? Time flies.
Yes.
So, you like it here?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Okay, you think you've contributed?
Yeah, I think I've been a pretty good member of the team.
Yeah, you've been a good worker. You've certainly put in your hours.
Oh, thank you.
You've kept up with your CLE credits. You did that great thing with sponsored by Wilma. I remember you did that. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Can you think of any case in particular, any clients in particular where you've really shined?
Well, I think the Kingsley initiative.
Yeah. That was a good one. What about it?
Well, I could be wrong, but I think the Kingsleys are happy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I'd like to think I had something to do with that.
You did, sure.
I really hope to have a future here.
Well, what do you think are your particular strengths?
Well, I don't think anyone's really complained about my work.
Oh, no.
I complete all of my assignments on time.
Yeah, that's true. Good.
Well, I hope I've made a good impression on partners and associates.
Yeah, true.
I really hope that I could have a future here.
Okay. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, here, I hope.
You want to make partner?
Sure, yeah, I would like to be a partner.
What about babies?
I don't think babies should be partners.
That's very good. No, are you planning on having babies?
Not at the moment.
Well, no, maybe not at the moment, but you're what, 27?
I just turned 28.
Okay, so in 5 years you're going to be 30-something. You know, I mean, you're going to be, your biological stuff is going to be happening. And
Well, I think balancing work and life is a challenge for everyone.
well, sure, but come on, if we're honest, it's harder for women, right?
Well, traditionally
All right,
speaking.
let me give you an example. My first wife, we were in law school together, and honestly, truth be told, she was better at it than I was, and we both got good jobs, but, you know, one day, surprise, she got pregnant, and we were being careful, at least I was, and, you know, suddenly we have a baby. And it's fun to have a baby. So she said, hey, let's have another baby. And suddenly there's 2 babies. And, you know, 2 babies, that's a lot of work. And well, you know, she always said she was going to go back to work, but she never did.
So your point is?
Oh, I don't have a point. I'm just saying, if I've learned anything in all my years, it's this. No matter what happens, something is going to happen.
Well, okay, so like, I could be wrong, but what I think is going to happen is that I'm hopefully going to be working here for a really long time.
Okay, all right, great. Well, then just get to it.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I just give you one piece of advice?
Oh, sure, if you have any suggestions.
Oh, sure. Well, you know, you're kind of soft.
Okay.
I mean, you want to make partner. You got to be a go-getter.
Okay.
You know, you just assert yourself. I mean, you know, don't be shy.
Right.
Now, don't be pushy. I mean, you don't want to get a reputation for being a rhymes with switch.
Right.
But, you know, you got to be tough.
Okay.
You know, you don't want to be pushy, but you don't want to sacrifice your femininity.
Okay.
All right. You're smart, and you got good intuition.
Thank you.
All right. Just, you know, man up a little bit.
Man up.
You got it, okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, go get him.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
Hey, my door is always open.
By now, a lot of this ought to be very familiar. Avery behaves as though she hasn't reread her resume. She behaves as though she's not there to advocate for herself. Ron is the one who pulls the information out of her. There's no proactivity on her part. So she's losing that opportunity once again to present herself as someone to be taken very seriously, a presence to be paid attention to. And she loses that. Her language patterns, I may be off base, I may be wrong. She's too hesitant. This is her time to shine. She's on stage. One of the things that she's got to remember, that anybody in this kind of situation has got to remember, is that this evaluation puts you center stage with the spotlight on you, and it's your time to show your stuff. And Avery doesn't do it.
One of the other things about advocating for ourselves is that because women feel uncomfortable about it, they often feel that the other person is the one that is supposed to know it already. And it turns out that Ron has read her self-evaluation. But I bet that there's many people in this room who have had self-evaluations where the person who is talking to you, your review, has not read it and doesn't know that you, as Ron said, put all those hours in, got the CLE, went to these various meetings and participated. You know, he's acknowledging the contribution that she made, but it's not up to him, it's up to her. So at a minimum, she ought to have read what she wrote. She ought to have made a little outline about her successes when she was doing a little mind priming that poor Avery didn't do. She should have been writing down her year in review. There's things that she could have done, should have done, to help herself. Let's assume in that situation the Kingsley Initiative. Let's assume for a minute that Mitch has written his self-evaluation and Avery has written hers. What do you think Mitch is going to be doing in his self-evaluation and in the review with Ron? He's going to talk about how he single-handedly solved the problems of the world. He climbed to the top of the Empire State Building outside, circled around, and rescued about 100 damsels in distress on the way down, because he knows what he has to do to be seen and heard. And so he can exaggerate a little. What about Avery, though? She's not comfortable. She talks about, well, I think I was valuable to the Kingsley Initiative. I think they like me. Well, who cares whether they like her? The point is, did she do a good job? She didn't claim her ideas in the meeting, and she's not claimed her ideas in her personal time that she can be telling Ron why she's done what she needs to do. Avery believes, as many women do, that the workplace is a meritocracy. If she puts her head down and she does a great job, she's going to be rewarded. And so she's up against other people who, first of all, assume that as a woman, she's not as good, so she has to prove it to them. But she's also up against other people who don't feel shy about talking about their contributions.
Let's go to the Ron's inappropriate, what about babies? So a couple of things about it. One, we know from Ron's telling the story of his first wife that there is a mindset which is pervasive among senior men. Not that every man has it, but many do, that women, when they have children, are going to be less committed, less involved, and they're not going to be available. There is just the assumption that when women go out and have children, they don't just have a child, they have a lobotomy. They're just not available. And Avery's up against that. Ron is asking about babies because that's the way he thinks. She's in an organization that thinks this way about children. And what we've got to figure out is, okay, you're in that kind of an organization, you know a young woman that's in this kind of an organization, how does she deal with it? What does she do? What can she say that deflects it? When she says babies shouldn't be partners, that's very clever, but it doesn't advance her. It doesn't make clear that commitment continues, even though there might be a child. She's going to have to confront this head on. She's going to have to say something about her plan. She doesn't have to say, I'm planning on having children, but she say, I don't think that's going to make a difference in my career commitment. I think I'm going to go where I intended to go when I started, and I'm going to get there regardless of my other circumstances. She's going to have to face up to this. And that's very, very difficult to do. Now,
especially since it's illegal for him to ask those questions.
right, and I make the point, she shouldn't be in that situation. I'm not suggesting that the situation is appropriate. But what if you're in it?
Right.
That's all I'm raising. You're in it, you're going to have, you want to stay at this firm. This is a job. Maybe we haven't said this, but why did she take this job? Why is she at this firm? The legal market's very tough, very tight. She may feel very fortunate she's got this job. She doesn't want to give it up. Now she's going to have to make the best of it.
And so, any question, more likely comments from this illustrious crowd here? Yes.